Well, welcome back to KION News Channel 546 at 5. I'm Chief Meteorologist Dan Siaka, and you're looking live from our Mount Toro cam in the smoke down into the valleys where the air quality is nasty today. So please, again, if you're heading outside, try not to, I guess is my best advice, or if you do so, make sure it's quick and don't do any strenuous activities because you're breathing all of this in and it is unhealthy for you out there tonight. Let's take a look at current fire conditions around the Dolan fire, weather conditions, I should say, around the Dolan fire. The heat footprint from satellite a little bit smaller today, so maybe some good news. It is still pretty widely dispersed from just south of Arroyo Seco down toward Fort Hunter Liggett and back toward the coast, but certainly much more spotty. That's the satellite looking down and finding heat on the ground. Right now, temperatures have warmed up a little bit from yesterday. 75 degrees, the air is still dry, the winds are still fairly light, which is some good news. And our forecast for the Dolan fire area over the next couple of days, slowly warming temperatures, but actually cool for this time of year, so we'll certainly take that. The air is going to remain very dry, unfortunately, but the winds will generally remain light. No major wind events expected, which is good news for firefighters. Now, our weather pattern's still pretty blocked up. We've got what's called an omega block in place with 2 areas of low pressure beside this area of high pressure, not moving all that much. It did budge a little bit to the east today, and it's actually going to continue doing that over the next couple of days. So slow progression, and eventually we'll start to see the big area of smoke that's been overhead move out of here. There will be some smoke stuck in the low levels, so we're still going to see some hazy conditions and some bad air quality, but we will no longer have that big haze of smoke overhead, which has been killing off our temperatures. We actually warmed up a little bit today in many locations, especially inland with less smoke out there, but with increased smoke in the low levels, it did get a little bit cooler, especially around the bay. Also, once the inland areas heat up, it starts pulling on that cooler coastal air, and we see the sea breeze kick in, and that cools us down on the coast as well, which we really haven't had much over the last couple of days. But this is a look at current temperatures right now. We are in the 50s to 60s around the bay and back into the 70s and 80s in some of our inland locations, getting closer to normal for this time of year. Now, we've also been dealing with some of that fog, and it was very foggy and smoggy this morning, and I do expect another round of that late tonight into tomorrow morning. So patchy, dense fog, some smog in there as well. There is smoke in the fog, which makes it kind of nasty out there. So that's how we're going to start our day tomorrow. And then into the afternoon, the low clouds, the fog will actually move back to the coast. It will remain hazy and smoky across the region, but I think we'll see a little bit more sunshine filtering in from up top. Temperature-wise, tomorrow, here's what you can expect. We will continue the warming trend, especially inland. You might not notice it too much on the coast, but in the Santa Cruz Mountains, we'll find 70s to around 80 degrees. Down on the coast in the 60s, like Santa Cruz at 66. East shore of the bay staying in the 60s. We'll get close to 70 in Salinas and Watsonville, but back in the 80s in the Santa Clara Valley and in Hollister. Monterey tomorrow, more of the same with temperatures in the 60s. Not going to warm up too much as we continue to see an onshore breeze with the marine layer present. And then farther south, we will find warmer temperatures with upper 80s, close to 90 in some of our southern valleys, but most of the Salinas Valley and Carmel Valley in the 70s. Over the next 7 days, some slight warming expected on the coast. We'll notice it out of the weekend, I think, a little bit more with high temperatures returning on average to the 70s. More sunshine, less haze as we head into next week. It's just going to be a gradual process over the next 3 days. And at the end of next week, watching as a weather system, some models showing it diving just enough south that we could see the chance, at least, of some light precipitation sometime next weekend. Just starting to evolve in the models. Of course, we'll be keeping a close eye on it. Inland areas, hazy for the next couple of days, but slowly filtering out, and temperatures returning to normal by next week.